So विशेष मतलब when we हम लोग जब माइनिंग की बात कर रहे थे तो the primary requirement is high electricity consumption now to maintain the Bitcoin network, to mine, etc., etc. So isn't there a concern with regards to carbon footprint?
Yes, there is absolutely. There's a lot of people who talk about it, and this is something that came to my mind also, and then I looked into it. Um, and in fact, if you think about it, younger investors, Gen Zs, millennials, they're all very environmentally conscious and want to invest in things that are socially and environmentally responsible. And so that is a valid question to ask, but also to think about, right? Like, what is Bitcoin looking to replace? It's looking to replace centralized financial institutions. And nobody ever asks the question that what is the carbon footprint of these centralized financial institutions, right? Imagine what the kind of fossil fuel that is being burned to run this entire global financial ecosystem. All the paperwork, the checks, the money, the footprint of the banks, their buildings, all these employees going to work every day, all these banks maintaining their own IT infrastructure, their data centers, servers, etc. People traveling, for meetings. This whole financial ecosystem built on this centralized structure is burning probably way more fossil fuel than Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin gets the attention, and the question is asked because it directly sort of burns electricity or consumes electricity. But if you peel the layers, you'll see that Bitcoin mining is mostly happening in areas where cheap power is available. Because at the end of the day, Bitcoin miner is in the business of making money, and they naturally, as a business sense, gravitate towards where there is cheap power. Now, question is, why is there cheap power and where is there cheap power? And the answer is, everything is priced based on supply and demand. So if there is cheap power, that means there is oversupply and not enough demand. So essentially, there is power that is going to waste, which is in effect being used by Bitcoin miners for some productive purpose. And the fact is, if there was demand, again, supply and demand, if there was demand for this power, right? If people say, well, Bitcoin miners are taking power away from other productive users, well, if there was demand for this power, it would not have been cheap, and miners would not have gone to that place, right? Uh, so there is no opportunity cost, right? So if there is, and it's very easy for miner to pick up and go, right? Mining operation is simply, these computers, right? Like these servers, these fast ASIC chips that require a lot of computing power, but they kind of look like servers and they just plug and play operation. You don't need too many people. You don't need to set up an office. Just go plug it in and then it starts running. And mining is largely powered, by therefore energy sources that are underutilized. In fact, a lot of mining is now happening in these oil and gas producing facilities where they have a lot of waste gas that these guys were anyway burning. So, in many jurisdictions, I think, including in America, in these gas extraction units, or oil and natural gas mining facilities, they are not allowed to just release waste gases in the atmosphere. So what they were doing was they were just burning those waste gases. So these are flares basically. You'll see, or you may have seen either on television or in movies that there are these, there's just a constant fire or constant flame coming out of a mining operation. They're just burning waste gases. It's going to waste. It's being thrown away. Bitcoin miners are going and harnessing that, energy. They're using that. It's cheap. They're using that for mining. And so, in fact, in that sense, Bitcoin mining is saving the world from wasting overproduction of power. It's using it for productive use, and in return making power companies more profitable. And it's a win-win situation because they're also making the Bitcoin network more secure. I'll also talk about how there are remote parts of the world where there is a lot of geothermal power. Um, Iceland is a great example. So there is geothermal power that's cheap and freely available, and it can be harnessed, but it's not easy to transport. A lot of times, energy is available in remote parts of the world, but it's not easy to transport because transporting energy, there's a lot of loss of energy and it's very expensive. And sometimes it just doesn't make business sense to go all the way to Iceland to build some sort of way to transport all that electricity or that energy to an urban center where there is a large population who will need it. And because it's not a profitable operation, all of that power is also going to waste. But with Bitcoin mining, just take your servers there, take your entire operation, plug it in, and start running. In fact, in place like Iceland, the benefit is also the fact that it's naturally cold there because there is a little bit of electricity, or not a little, a lot of electricity that also goes into cooling down these machines that are performing the mining operation. They generate a lot of heat, and so if in a Bitcoin mining operation, they have to keep them like how you may have seen in a data center. They have to keep them cool, constantly air conditioned. That consumes power. In a place like Iceland, naturally you're getting free thermal power and you're getting a free air conditioned or cool environment. So it's quite profitable to do that there. Otherwise, that whole energy was going to waste. Another really cool thing, in fact, to also think about is that there are remote parts of the world that don't have electricity, right? Think about a small village somewhere in Africa that does not have electricity, and that village has only, let's say, 50 people. No power company is going to go set up operation to provide power to that village of 50 people because even though they may have the resources, the market is so small. For 50 people, are we going to do all that kind of capital expenditure? But herein, if mining, Bitcoin mining can actually be a side operation, it makes sense. Well, there is a natural resource. We can go generate power there and we can use that power, cheap power to, mine Bitcoin, make our profits from that, and also service this community of 50 people. So it can actually bring electricity and bring connectivity to these remote parts of the world and bring prosperity to the world.
I'm sure as Bitcoin becomes more mainstream, right, environmentalists and others will jump in and they will do research to actually see whether, and to have factual evidence on whatever Vishesh just covered, like actual data to compare. If $1 billion is managed by Bitcoin and $1 billion is managed, say, in our centralized finance system, what will be the power consumption comparison? Obviously, those are complex calculations that we cannot do at the moment. But I'm sure as and when those reports come out, we will share it with you as like kind of a continuation of this discussion.